Okay, get this. You're throwing a small get-together at your place. Maybe a casual dinner with a few friends, nothing fancy, just some snacks, some drinks, a little music, maybe even a heated debate about which pizza topping is objectively the worst. You're expecting the people you actually invited, normal humans, reasonable folks, people who know how doors work. And then, out of nowhere, a bunch of complete strangers just walks in. They didn't RSVP, they didn't text, they didn't even knock. They start yelling, they rearrange your furniture, someone trips over the couch, a chair breaks, and suddenly your carefully curated playlist is drowned out by their screaming. And somehow, according to some media outlets, you're the problem for trying to kick them out. Yes, defending your own space is now more offensive than storming it uninvited. Incredible! Olympic-level logic.
And the best part? These uninvited guests have a cause. Oh yes, they have a very serious, very noble mission. Apparently, they're here to save the world. Your dining room is now the battlefield of morality. And somehow their moral compass allows them to break things, intimidate people, and scream at you like you're the villain in a Netflix drama. Meanwhile, you're just standing there thinking, I just wanted some tacos and a movie. What the hell is happening? It's not just chaos, it's performance art. It's like they took the worst parts of reality TV, mashed it together with activism, and decided your private gathering was the perfect stage. And you know what? The news eats it up. Some outlets look at your reasonable attempts to get them to leave and think, yep, this person is clearly the problem here. Because of course, defending your own space is now morally wrong. But hold on to that thought, because things only get wilder from here. Imagine if this level of nonsense happened everywhere. Grocery stores, movie theaters, your local coffee shop. You sit down with your latte, minding your own business, and a group of people just barges in demanding moral justice because apparently you're doing life wrong. And the media swoops in to frame it like you started the fight. That's the world we're living in, folks. A world where logic takes a back seat, chaos gets applauded, and defending yourself is considered criminal behavior. So yeah, buckle up. We're diving into a story where common sense is optional, masks aren't even necessary, and uninvited guests are somehow the heroes in the news. Let's unpack this madness. Welcome to the world of the pro-Palestinian campus cult, the type of people who treat chaos like a lifestyle, think intimidation is a sport, and somehow get media coverage portraying them as the victims of their own rampage. And before you ask, yes, this actually happened in real life. Toronto Metropolitan University, private event, one former IDF soldier attending, and a bunch of uninvited protesters decided to crash the place. Chaos, destruction, yelling, the works. And then CP24 reported that the soldier assaulted the protesters. I'm not making this up. The person defending himself and his private event suddenly became the aggressor. Incredible, right? All right, let's talk about the pro-Palestinian campus cult. Yes, I said cult because that's exactly what it looks like if you watch their behavior without the rose-colored activism glasses. They wander around universities thinking they own the place, acting like chaos is their brand, masks on like they're about to rob a bank, and an attitude that screams, "We're righteous, everyone else is evil." And now, apparently breaking into private events is just part of their curriculum. Yes, private events. You know, the kind that require tickets or RSVPs, where normal people expect to, I don't know, actually attend the thing they signed up for without having to fight off intruders? But not these folks. No, for them, peaceful protest is apparently too boring. You want attention? Smash some doors, break a little glass, wear a mask for dramatic flair. Voila! Instant activism, right? Now, if you're wondering what these activists actually stand for beyond making a scene, good luck figuring that out. Their toolkit seems to be intimidation, harassment, and chaos. Not debate, not dialogue, not petitions, actual intimidation. Threats, shoving, screaming, smashing, basically everything that would get you a police visit if you tried it outside the campus bubble. And they do it while claiming moral high ground, which is impressive if you like irony, because it's basically a performance of, look at how virtuous I am while literally terrorizing people.
Take the Toronto Metropolitan University incident. A private event featuring former IDF veterans, something organized for students who actually wanted to attend, not get assaulted, and here comes this little parade of masked marauders. Doors broken, glass shattered, chaos everywhere. Attendees defend themselves, 5 people get arrested, and what does some of the media do? CP24, for example, literally reported that the footage shows an IDF soldier assaulting the protesters.
This was the video that was released today by a group describing itself as TMU students, faculty, and allies. They allege that it shows an Israeli soldier assaulting students who were protesting Wednesday's off-campus event. That event was hosted by a TMU group called Students Supporting Israel.
Yes, you heard that right. The people defending their private event being attacked, threatened, and confronted by masked intruders were suddenly spun as aggressors. That's narrative gymnastics worthy of an Olympic gold medal. If someone smashed your door and tried to storm your living room, you'd probably grab them too. It's called self-preservation. But according to certain outlets, you're the villain. Fascinating. But this isn't just a Toronto problem. Jewish students globally are seeing a pattern here. Intimidation, harassment, and even physical attacks just for showing up, wearing symbols, or participating in normal student life. And what's the justification? Solidarity, activism, fighting oppression. Except here's the kicker. They're idolizing organizations that literally execute their own people if they disagree. Hamas, for example, publicly executes dissenters, yet these campus crusaders clap along like it's a pep rally. That's hypocrisy so thick you could carve a statue out of it. They preach justice, but selectively. Ignore genocide in Africa, ignore atrocities in Arab countries, and scream the loudest at Israel. Because apparently, human rights only count when it fits their narrative. And let's be honest about the symbolism here. Masks, destruction of property, breaking into private spaces. This isn't protest. This is intimidation. This is designed to scare. It's the optics of terrorism without the headline-grabbing bombs. It's sending a clear message. We will disrupt, we will harm, and we will get attention. No one can stop us. And yet some media outlets, CP24 being the most obvious example, report it like it's some quirky student disagreement, or worse, portray the defenders as aggressors. You can see why critical thinking is no longer optional. It's mandatory if you want to parse this narrative without drinking the Kool-Aid. Think back to the 2000s. Groups like ISIS, universally condemned. Everyone recognized the threat. People weren't debating nuance. They knew masked, violent, ideologically driven extremists are bad news. Now, some of the tactics are the same. Masked, violent, ideologically driven. But somehow these campus versions are being idolized, defended, or at least excused. It's like watching a rerun of the same horror show, but with a laugh track added. Except no one's laughing except the people creating the chaos. And if you're still thinking, well, maybe it's just activism, look at the TMU incident again. This wasn't a protest outside with signs and chants. This was a storming of a private space, 5 arrests, property destruction, physical removal, all because the protesters wanted to be seen, heard, and dramatic. If your protest involves breaking things and scaring attendees, congratulations, you've crossed the line from activism into outright aggression, terrorism light, if you will. And yet, some media outlets scramble to portray it as moral outrage or self-righteous action. CP24, for example, literally framed the defenders as the problem, giving a platform to mask-wearing intruders while downplaying the chaos they caused. It's propaganda dressed as news, and it works because people often take headlines at face value. So when we zoom out, the picture becomes crystal clear. Pro-Palestinian groups on campuses have turned hostility into a hobby, masks into their armor, and destruction into their signature move. They claim moral authority while idolizing violent extremists, selectively ignoring atrocities elsewhere, and terrorizing students just trying to exist safely. TMU is just the tip of the iceberg, a case study in how ideology, masks, and chaos combine to threaten Jewish students, distort media narratives, and make what should be simple safety on campus into a gamble. And if nothing else, it's a reminder. These groups are not your friendly activists. They're a mess of chaos, hypocrisy, and aggression, and anyone paying attention should see it coming from a mile away.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dose of chaos, hit that like button. It tells YouTube I'm still doing something right. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next round of internet insanity. See you in the next one.